Have you ever stopped to think about what the future holds? No, I'm not talking about technological advancements or the latest market trends. I'm talking about something much deeper, something that could literally change the course of history. What if I told you that there are clear signs that 2025 will be a crucial year, a watershed moment? It may sound alarming, but the truth is that prophetic events, long foretold, are unfolding right before our eyes. While many ignore these signs, others are beginning to wonder, are we ready for what's coming? The technological reality is that we live in transformative times, where faith, and human values are at stake. The Bible speaks of signs that precede great events, and some of them are already here. The universal translation of the scriptures, the dominance of technology, increasing apostasy, and moral collapse. But before you worry, think, doesn't all this also bring an opportunity for renewal? After all, each challenge carries within it the potential for a new beginning. And what comes next can change not only how you see the world, but also how you live in it. Now, the question is, are you prepared to discover the truths that can shape the future? What we're going to explore together is not just about facts, but how these facts can impact your life in a real and transformative way. Keep reading and dive into this journey, because ignoring these signs can be costly, but understanding them might be the key to a new horizon. Imagine the impact of being able to access a divine message in the language you call your own. Wycliffe Bible Translators is leading an unprecedented mission to translate the Holy Scriptures into every language of the world by 2025. This means that even remote communities which have never had access to the Bible will be able to experience a deep connection with the Word of God. Have you thought about how this could transform lives, offering hope and purpose where there was emptiness before? Moreover, this initiative is a significant step in fulfilling biblical promises, a milestone toward future events that many believe are on the horizon. Technology is playing a crucial role in this endeavor. With the help of artificial intelligence, translators can speed up the process and respect the cultural essence of each language. It's like weaving a complex fabric, uniting precision and respect for the identity of each people. Imagine a young person on a distant island reading about God's love for the first time in their mother tongue. This not only lights up hearts but also solidifies faith in an increasingly fragmented world. What a powerful tool technology has become for something so spiritual. And you can be part of this. Did you know? Supporting projects like this can be as simple as getting involved in missionary initiatives or donating to organizations that carry out these future translations. If you want to dive into this movement, why not research the least practical languages? Discovering stories of people who still await the message can be inspiring and a gateway to action. After all, have you ever thought that this accessibility to the gospel is a prelude to something bigger? Well, the next topic will explore this. If we look around, we see how technology is shaping the way we live, earn, and even interact. But there's a side to this coin that few observe. Digital currencies, surveillance systems, and artificial intelligences are today tools that make life easier, but also set the stage for something much bigger and more unsettling. Have you ever imagined that a simple mobile payment system could one day be used to control or access essential goods? Yes, technological advancements not only signal progress but also align with biblical prophecies about global control. The mark of the beast, described in Revelation, often feels distant or fanciful, but the foundations for it are already here. Governments are testing digital currencies that may soon replace physical money, offering convenience but also concentrating power in specific hands. Think about the idea that a simple click could block your access to financial transactions, something that no longer seems so impossible, right? As an example, there are already countries implementing systems that connect personal data to digital accounts, controlling what can and cannot be done. Helpful? Perhaps, but such is the reality we live in. And what to do in the face of this? To start, it's vital that you be aware and informed. Take the time to learn about how technologies work and what their impact on our freedoms is. Engaging in debates about digital privacy and supporting initiatives that protect human autonomy is a great start. After all, the more informed we are, the better prepared we will be to handle the challenges of the future. And speaking of challenges, the issue that comes next promises to touch on something even more sensitive: When we talk about apostasy, it might seem like something distant, reserved for ancient texts, but it's closer than we think. The abandonment of the Christian faith has become a glaring reality in our times. Churches that were once full now face empty benches, while many who once preached the gospel or led worship succumb to the pleasures of the world. It's not just about people drifting away from doctrines, but about a collective weakening of beliefs in values that sustain faith. It's as if the light of a candle were being slowly extinguished, while the distractions of the world took its place. One of the most worrying factors is the shift in the very innovations, which, in search of relevance, often sacrifice fundamental principles. Imagine a place where do what you want replaces follow what is just. This movement not only confuses the faithful but prepares the ground for something darker. Some leaders are already using messages that appeal to the ego rather than leading to humility, and the results are devastating. Disillusioned faithful, disintegrated families, and a church that increasingly resembles the world it should be transforming. And you, where do you stand in this research? Maybe this is the time to reflect on your own spiritual journey. Set aside time to reassess your values, strengthen your faith, and rediscover what really matters. A good idea is to reconnect with Bible reading or groups that share the same principles. Indeed, this quest for operations is not just important, it's necessary. But that's only part of the story. Because, if we look closely, the decay of human values is the next step in this process. The signs are everywhere. Fragile relationships, rampant corruption, and a sense of morality that seems to evaporate day by day. Humanity is facing an alarming decline in its essential values. Think about the selfishness that dominates relationships, where marriages become battlegrounds and families disintegrate. Parents, once pillars of security, often neglect their children in pursuit of their own interests. This behavior is not just a reflection of the times, but also a clear manifestation of something bigger and more concerning, exactly as described in the scriptures. The quest for power and wealth has reached absurd levels, where leaders trade their principles for personal advantages. Real examples are in every headline. Rulers who treat human lives as mere pieces on a chessboard, sacrificing collective well-being to feed their ambitions. And the most unsettling part? This isn't limited to politics. Even religious leaders have traded integrity for notoriety. Imagine the confusion this creates in people's minds, a society that becomes increasingly individualistic and disconnected from basic empathy. So, how to resist this current? The answer lies in small daily acts of resistance. How about starting by practicing gratitude? A simple thank you can be revolutionary in a world obsessed with demanding more. Investing time in authentic relationships, helping someone without expecting anything in return. These are simple actions, but they reaffirm the essence of humanity. Maybe it's time to look within and ask, am I contributing to the solution or to the problem? After all, amidst so much chaos, the role of each of us is fundamental. And you know what's curious? This cycle prepares us for something even bigger. So, now that you know what's coming, the big question is, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Will you ignore the signs and continue as if nothing were happening? Or seize this opportunity to transform your life? Remember, understanding what's happening around us is just the first step. The real challenge is to act. Whether deepening your faith, informing yourself about technological advances, or questioning the values that guide your choices, the important thing is not to stay in the same place. Are you ready to put all this into practice? Think about how you can strengthen your relationships, make more conscious decisions, and prepare for the changes that are already knocking at the door. And more. Have you ever imagined the impact of sharing these truths with others? Maybe you can be a light amid so much darkness, helping others to see the way. After all, the more people engage in this quest for meaning, the greater the difference we'll make together. So, before you leave here, do something simple yet powerful. Subscribe to the channel and activate the notifications. This way, you'll always be ahead, receiving more content that can transform your life. And of course, share this video with friends and family. You never know who might need this message. Are you prepared to take the next step? The decision is in your hands.